Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and today is a really exciting video. We're going to be rearranging probably my entire plant collection. I'm really excited to do this because it's one of my favorite ways to get back in the groove of enjoying my plants. And I actually gave this advice on Instagram and I was like, wait a second, why don't I do that myself? Because as we know, I've been in a slump and I'm coming out of the slump and I really just want to capitalize on that and use this time to just like dive back in with loving houseplants. So also this video is sponsored by Green Chef. We're gonna do a lunch break with them. But first we're going to address the plant room. So I tidied it the other day and it's very clean. We've got a lot of shoes by the shoe thing, the shoe rack. But other than that, it's pretty tidy and I'm very happy. It's been clean for like 3 days, which, you know, if you live in my house, you know that that is a record probably. But I've just been like hyper aware of how messy it's been getting and I'm like, I don't really like that vibe for me right now. Like I need this area to be nice and clean. We're just gonna sort of go through and move things around and it's gonna be really fun. And I hope that if you are having some struggles with your houseplants, this can help motivate you to try moving things around and see if that changes your perspective on anything, because I think it will. I had a question on my last video asking what headphones I'm wearing, and these are the Bose Quiet Comfort 45 headphones. They're really comfortable and I wear them all the time. So the first thing I do when I am cleaning out a space, just rearranging in general, is I'll just clear it off completely so I have a blank slate. The bottom shelf of this shelf never really changes. I just use it for storage. I'm using the bottom for storing a wreath that I'm going to put on the greenhouse, and then I can just have a clean slate and put things on that I liked, and then switch things around as I feel fit. I like to not overload this specific shelf. This is a antique cane shelf. I don't want to put too much weight on it. This is something that I got from Facebook Marketplace for like, I think it was like $35. I don't think that the person selling it truly understood how valuable it was, and it is damaged at the bottom, so I think that they also sliced the price for that too. But in any case, I'm really happy that I have it because it's beautiful. So I really like to do a little trial and error situation. Like I like to put plants there, see what they look like, see how I feel, and then move things around. So this is a time-consuming process. It definitely takes time to completely rearrange things. I'm pulling plants from all around my house specifically for this cactus section. I've never put cactus on this shelf, but I really like it. There's 2 aloe and then the myrtillo cactus in the middle, and I really wanted to showcase this crested myrtillo cactus more, so that's why I put that there. This spot that I keep switching out is an important spot because it's super visible when I'm filming, and I didn't want it to look bad by having like a not great plant there. And then I like having my book displayed because I feel like I should display the book that I wrote. So here's what I landed on for now. I think that I don't know, it's always like a working thing. Like I might rearrange a little bit more, but I am pretty happy with how it looks now. You guys know how the holiday season is. Constantly running to the grocery store and pretty much constantly trying to figure out how to feed everyone who's visiting or whatever else. This is the very reason that I love Green Chef. It takes all of the stress of cooking away so that you can just enjoy your time cooking, number one, and number two, and most importantly, enjoy your time with your family. Green Chef is a CCOF certified organic company that offers meal kits for all sorts of lifestyle choices like keto and paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. And what's really nice is you can mix and match different meal styles within your box. So, you know, if you're having your vegan cousin over for dinner and you have no idea what to feed them, you might as well throw in a vegan meal with the rest of the box and everyone will be happy. As I said before, the holiday season brings a lot of grocery store trips, but not with Green Chef. You can have pre-measured and prepped ingredients for delicious meals delivered right to your door no hassle. We all know that cooking isn't my personal strong suit, but honestly, after more than a year of cooking Green Chef meals, I feel so much more confident in the kitchen, and the meals get better and better each time. Honestly, I feel like I'm getting so good at cooking. So if you want to shed some stress this holiday season, use my code DELAPLANTS599 to get $5.99 per meal on your first box, plus free shipping on your first box. Go to greenchef.com for more details. Now, there isn't a ton of flexibility for this bench here. This is the Ikea Busta unit for anybody curious. I kind of had to customize it by cutting off a couple, like I think it was like a 2-inch cutoff that I had to do to get it to fit perfectly in this spot. It was pretty easy. You can see that in my plant room redo video. But basically, I just put my really tall plants here that are on planks. And so there's not a ton of flexibility as far as like moving these plants around, because I'm just sort of rearranging them on this bench in general. And I like to make sure that my favorite plants are closer to the window. So this isn't going to look all that different, but it is nice to sort of reassess what plants are here so that they're not too close together, because I do notice that it tends to get kind of clogged up every once in a while. So I like to go through and cut down on the amount of plants I have here. And I've been having issues with having access to power in this room, because like there's 2 outlets. There's only 3 outlets in this room, and 2 of them are covered by this Busta unit. So I just hooked up a extension cord with multiple plugs, and I kind of ran that behind the Busta, so I have access to power a lot easier. And I don't tend to move around the hanging plants too often, again, because they're in a very specific place for a reason. But I do sort of shift things around sometimes. Like I'll move a plant like over 1 or 2 hooks, and it's not too big of a deal. But I do have a grow light that I use in this back corner on particularly dark days, and I haven't used it too often recently, but like through like the dark winters, I definitely do, because it is very, very dark in this corner. And that's why I put like my Gapertia back here. There's the light, and here I am plugging it in. You can kind of see that it just illuminates this area, and I'd like to actually hook it up to the side of the shelf. I think that would be a little bit better. It would be a lot taller, but it just kind of sort of lights up that corner a little bit. And then this is actually a section that I really like, the changes that I made, although I didn't really film it. And then now it's time to move on to the greenhouse cabinet, which needs a lot of work. I actually ended up tossing like 3 or 4 plants from this section, and I am not going to feel bad about it, and nobody on the internet is going to make me feel bad about it either. There was just several that I was just over. They were definitely dying or already dead, and like I might have been able to bring them back, but I just was over it and I didn't want to, so I tossed them. And that's okay. Sometimes that just happens, and I feel so much better. I feel like I have a lot more room in this cabinet to do things, because it is going to be getting a makeover, and it's good to just rid yourself of negativity in life, in owning plants, etc. Like this wet stick propagation box did not make anything. Like I had a successful wet stick propagation situation a couple months ago, and I tried it again and it didn't work, and that's just how it goes sometimes. So next up, we're gonna address this shelf here on my counter, and it's looking really full, which like isn't the end of the world because it's organized in that zigzag pattern, because I don't like when my plants are touching each other, and I find that setting them up in a zigzag makes it just a little bit easier to keep them spread out. But it was time to water these. One of my plants in here usually tells me that they're all thirsty, and that is, I'm forgetting the name, but my variegated epipremnum usually tells me. And since I cleared up room in the greenhouse cabinet, I could put these 2 wet stick propagations back in there. They've actually been doing totally fine on the shelf, but since I have room in here, I'd rather them be in there because it's definitely better conditions for new propagations. So this shelf actually wasn't that dirty, so I'm like really happy about that. But I just reset all of the little coasters, and you can see how they're in that zigzag formation, and none of the plants touch each other. They are all quite small, so that kind of helps. But yeah, it's just nice to have a little reset in this area and moving some things out so that I can keep things that I like in this area. And look, I caught that fungus gnat. I wanted to show you guys. Also, I wanted to show you how I'm treating for flat mites. This is literally all it is. I just rinsed off the sulfur from the last time I sprayed, and then I'm just respraying it, and I just put them back. It's super easy, and you'll see what that sulfur looks like when it's dried in just a second, but it looks so much better. It just looks nice and clean. The sulfur leaves like white spots, so it's kind of ugly, but it definitely helps. This plant has so many new growth points. If you didn't see them, I'm super happy with it. All right, my friends, that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I rearrange my collection. There's definitely more rearranging that I'd like to do and more that I will do once the greenhouse is done, because lots of things are going to be moving out there, and this Ikea greenhouse cabinet is going to be getting some work done on it. I'm already planning that video and like ordering some stuff for it. Because I feel like I could be doing a lot more with the space than I currently am, and I would like it to just be prettier in general. It needs a really good deep clean. It's just been a while since I've given it a lot of attention, so that's gonna be in a future video, but just like be prepared for that. And yeah, I feel really good about all these changes, and I feel myself coming back into loving plants, which is a really fun thing. I'm really happy about it, and I was able to like kind of toss some things that I felt like a burden for a while, and just doing that has made me feel honestly so much better. And I don't know, this is your reminder to get rid of plants that are just not doing it for you anymore. There's no shame in the game. You know, you're gonna go through phases where some plants are just not it, and that's okay. A lot of the times you can get them again later, or you could never get them again because you've learned your lesson. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I would love for you to hit subscribe if you're not already, and check out Green Chef in the description box below if you're looking for some holiday rest around meals. You want to sort of put the work on someone else. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.